Hey, it's Michelle Butt, and it's time for another Face Life Friday. And so today what I want to talk about is jet lag. I know often when we travel, especially if we travel across time zones, we tend to feel tired and have a hard time recuperating for the first few days after that. And oftentimes people attribute that jet lag to the time change. And yes, of course, the time change has something to do with it. But I also want you to think about some of the other things that may be occurring in your system and in your body based on what your face says about you that affects how you may feel after you travel for a while. So for example, if you are a royal, you are very, very environmentally sensitive. So you're sensitive to the spaces that you're in, the unfamiliar spaces, the tiny cramped planes or the big, massive airports. And so that overwhelm of energy from new spaces and all the people and all of the energy that's swirling around there can affect you, and it can affect you for days after the travel happens. So your system is trying to come back into balance, and it may not necessarily be the time zone that is so much affecting you as you kind of off-gassing all of that energetic overwhelm from being in spaces that are very highly charged. So if you know what your face says about you and you are very royal, then you may also have to do things like clear your energy, find some way to decompress that brings you back into balance, take some time alone, that kind of stuff. Cures that will help a royal get back into sync that may make your post-travel days feel better sooner, and it may not necessarily be just the time zone that's affecting you. And with all other archetypes, there are environmental and crowd influences that happen when you travel that can affect the way you recover, the way you show up in the few days after you travel, even in the few days before. My sweetheart, who is very royal, has a hard time even before we travel because he's already sensing all of the energetic shift that has to happen with moving into an unfamiliar space, being out of control, looking at, relying on other people's deadlines and abilities to get you where you're going. That all affects you. So if you travel, understand what your face says about you, because that might help make your journey more restful, more peaceful, but also the recovery and the coming back into balance better as well. So I hope that little tip helps you. If you want to find out what your face says about you, especially in relation to how you cope with travel or how you could cope with traveling better based on some clues that your face has for you, then you know how to find me. Information will be in the links wherever you're seeing this on how to get in touch, and I will see you next Friday. Bye for now.